Straight ahead on 12 News, not keeping our eyes on the road.
It's the same thing as when you're impaired.
Police sound the alarm on distracted driving. Plus, a big thank you to a soldier in Maple Grove. But first, a date in court for the Crystal father accused of killing his son. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. Pierre Collins made his first court appearance today.
The Crystal man is charged with murdering his 10-year-old son, Barway. Reporter Sonia Goins was in the courtroom and she joins us now with more details. Sonia?
Now, the whole court proceeding was pretty quick. Pierre really didn't show any emotion in court. He stated his name and address to the judge and was appointed a public defender. Now, Pierre's wife, Yama Collins, and their two youngest children were in the courtroom along with several other family members, but they didn't want to comment on the case. 33-year-old Pierre Collins is charged with second-degree murder. The Hennepin County attorney says he will go to a grand jury to get a first-degree murder indictment. Barway disappeared on March 18th after getting off his school van. On April 11th, volunteers found the child's body in the Mississippi River. Authorities say phone data shows Pierre was at the Mississippi River near where Barway was found. Investigators say Pierre put Barway's body in a storm sewer drain where it had been for weeks, and because the body had been in the water for so long, we may never know the exact cause of his death. Court documents also show Pierre had 2 life insurance policies on Barway, and 2 days before Barway disappeared, Pierre tried to increase the amount on one of those policies. Some members of the Liberian community were in the courtroom today. They say they want justice for Barway.
A lot of people in the Liberian community are mad. They're mad, they're furious, they want justice for little Barway. It is not right. That's a little child. He's 10 years old and he's dead. And I'm here for justice for that little boy. I am mad and I'm angry.
Now, Pierre has been held on $2 million bond and is facing 40 years in prison if convicted. Now, Alex and Shannon, his next court appearance is May 14th at 11 a.m.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sonia.
Yeah.
The disappearance and death of Barway Collins may have led to difficult questions in your own home, such as how do you respond to a child if they ask what happened? We asked a psychologist from Maple Grove to help with guidance on those uneasy questions.
I firmly believe that how we talk to kids about traumatic and difficult situations has to be grounded in how we talk to them about everyday things. That we want to have open communication. We want them to feel comfortable coming to us about anything, that we're not going to be highly reactive about it, that we're going to listen to them.
Dr. Sally Brinza says it's good to shield your children from disturbing news, such as the Barway Collins case. But if they do know about the case and they ask questions, kids only need the basics, not all the gory details. And Brinza says teenagers may have a different understanding about traumatic events.
Things that are difficult for adults to comprehend and process, kids need adults. They need somebody to kind of be there to help them figure out why sometimes scary bad things happen, and and to reinforce with them that most adults are there to be protective of them, to be watching out for them.
We have more resources on talking with children about traumatic events, and we will have a list of those on our website at 12.tv.
Meanwhile, a 44-year-old Crystal man is headed to prison for a burglary case that led to a Minneapolis cop getting shot. Andrew Neal pleaded guilty to first-degree burglary and assault. The criminal complaint says Neal broke into the home of his ex-girlfriend and threatened the people inside with a hammer. Police believe Neal may have later shot a Minneapolis officer in the shoulder. That officer is recovering.
A Brooklyn Park man is headed to prison for what the U.S. Attorney's Office calls an elaborate tax fraud and identity theft scheme. 42-year-old Christopher Lindsay was sentenced to 15 years in prison. Prosecutors say Lindsay orchestrated a scheme that involved stealing bank account information to make counterfeit checks. He also recruited co-conspirators to file fraudulent tax returns to obtain refunds. The U.S. Attorney says Lindsay and others attempted to steal more than $1 million. We have all heard the message about not texting and driving, but how many of us are really listening?
Minnesota law enforcement is trying to get that point across this week as they target distracted drivers. We get more from Eric Nelson.
We are a distracted nation, especially on the road.
The phone itself is a huge factor.
Texting is as common as turning. Cell phone use is as routine as braking. Unfortunately, distracted driving can have the same tragic consequences as drunk driving.
It's the same thing as when you're impaired. You're not fully aware of everything that's around you, and it's the same thing as when you're texting. Your eyes are off the road. You're not fully aware of what's coming up ahead of you.
I got ran off the road, yes, a couple of times. Thank God I was awake.
He still has it in his hand.
Because of this, Minnesota State Troopers and police are laser focused on distracted driving this week.
They should have done it a long time ago.
I pull up next to you and you still have the phone in your hand, okay?
They are cracking down on those who can't put their phone down.
I've had a bunch of scary moments, but I try not to do it, but you know, sometimes the phone rings and you kind of look down and at least to see who it is.
Texting at the wheel has become an epidemic here in Minnesota. Between 2009 and 2013, there were 86,000 crashes related to distracted driving.
State Trooper Donnie Poptelican cruises metro area roads looking for phone-addicted drivers. Swerving from lane to lane is just one clue that tips him off.
Not using their turning signals, following too closely, going a lot slower than the posted speed limit or faster.
It is easy for drivers these days to cave into the phone. A beep, a ring, or a sound can produce a Pavlovian response.
The recommendation is either turn it off and completely take it out of view.
Yes, the message is simple. If you don't pay attention, you might pay in a different way. In Golden Valley, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
The fine for distracted driving varies from city to city and county to county. The extra enforcement runs through Saturday.
A Los Angeles company wants to call Golden Valley home. BioSig Technologies plans to move its headquarters to the I-394 corridor. BioSig is developing new computer technologies to improve the treatment of abnormal heartbeats. The move to Golden Valley also could lead to new job creation.
Talk about a warm welcome home for a local soldier. They lined the street in Maple Grove to offer Staff Sergeant Andrew Walker and his family one really big surprise. Walker will receive a new fully furnished mortgage-free home. National nonprofit Operation Finally Home is teaming up with the Poolite Group to make the project happen, and they celebrated with a groundbreaking ceremony. Walker served in Afghanistan defusing and removing dangerous explosives from the battlefield. He says he had no idea this was happening today. He just thought he was coming home for an interview.
This changes everything. We've been in a tiny one-bedroom apartment for 2 years now. I can't believe this is happening. Thank you so much.
And that was the Pulte Group. Walker was injured in Afghanistan and was awarded a Purple Heart and a Bronze Star. Great story and great turnout.
What a gift, right?
Absolutely. Coming up, talking tax refunds. They provide a nice lump of cash, but is that interest-free loan to Uncle Sam really the best way to manage your money? We'll explain up next.
And then a little bit later in sports, athletes at Osseo and Armstrong sign on to play college sports. But first, more clouds on Thursday, but we should stay dry. Each year, the Plymouth Fire Department recognizes its firefighters for their service, but this year, a surprise was in the works. The fire department expressed its gratitude to Fire Chief Rick Klein with a Legacy of Leadership Award. Klein has led the department for 22 years. In that time, he's taken the department from a volunteer fire department to a duty crew style of service, reducing fire times down to 4 to 6 minutes. The chief says he just provides the direction and development.
It's not the fire chief that gets the recognition. It's truly the members, the firefighters, because they're the ones day in, day out, providing the service.
The Plymouth Fire Department is about 75 people strong. Well, today, of course, April 15th is tax day, and the IRS says 2 out of 3 taxpayers filed their taxes by the beginning of April. If you are one of the more than 77 million people getting a refund, Jen Sladden has some smart solutions for you in today's Money Savers.
The IRS says most refunds have been just short of $3,000. While that might buy a great vacation for you, that wouldn't be the smartest use of your money.
Building it up is a key place to start. An emergency fund, looking at being able to put that away. For a lot of our clients, we recommend a firm foundation of 3 to 6 months.
Joshua Legband at Great Waters Financial has a few tips on how to spend your refund wisely. He mentioned building up your emergency fund. Also, cutting down on debt. Pay off high-interest debt first and then work your way down. If you are getting back a large refund, you should consider changing your deductions to have more money to spend and budget with throughout the year. And finally, it's not all doom and gloom. Set aside a small splurge to reward your money-saving efforts through the year.
Investing in families can be wise. It's one thing making memories and doing something that'll last a lifetime, and then taking the rest of that and possibly, cutting it down, paying down debt.
And one other tip to pass along, consider using your refund to pay for something to invest in your career that might wind off paying more in the long run. For Money Savers, back to you, Alex.
All right, thanks, Shannon. Coming up, volunteers make a big difference in helping others learn English. But first, the top boys tennis teams in the area clash as Maple Grove takes on Wayzata. John Jacobson steps in next.
John's here now with sports. It's great to see teams get to actually play outside this year. Softball, one of them.
Isn't that nice compared to the last couple of years?
Definitely.
And get these players and teams outside. Maple Grove softball team finishes state runner-up last season in Class 3A. With most of that team back, the Crimson expects to contend again. Maple Grove hosting Champlin Park. In the bottom of the fourth inning, Sammy Sadler delivers a base hit up the middle that scores Aaron Roll and gives the Crimson a 2-0 lead. Same inning, Sidney Smith drops a hit into left field. Eleanor Schutte hustles home for a 3-0 lead. To the bottom of the fifth, Maple Grove's Sarah Fisher rips a bases-loaded hit and scores 2 more for the Crimson. And Sadler will then come through again. Double score Tia Anderson and Fisher for a 7-0 lead. Maple Grove goes on to win 8-0. They are now 3-0 on the season. In boys tennis, the 2 local teams that are in the top 10 in Class AA met up as Maple Grove visited top-rated and 2-time defending state champion Wayzata. At number 1 doubles, Jack Barr cheers for Maple Grove, and Nick Hasner's cross-court return is perfect. Kasner and Steele Kowalczyk beat Barr and Justin Leow 6-2, 6-2. Charlie Atkins serving at number 1 singles, defending state champion Nick Beatty of Wayzata. Beatty comes to the net with a forehand and then a nice backhand volley that Atkins can't get to. Beatty beats Atkins in straight sets, 6-1, 6-1. Sam Hochberger in the far court for Maple Grove in the number 2 singles match against Hank Lee. Hochberger has great hands at the net on this point to frustrate Lee, and he rolls to a 6-2, 6-love win for the Crimson. Second doubles play, Wayzata's Sam Schrader and Alex Schilling in the far court. They take the point as Schrader splits the Crimson duo as Wayzata wins this match 6-2, 6-1, and they beat the Crimson on the day 5-2. Today marked the Spring National Signing Day for high school athletes headed to play college athletics next year. At Osseo High School this morning, 2 seniors signed, Shia Sanders and Sarah Bezdacek. Sanders enjoyed a great prep career for Osseo in prep volleyball and today signed with Western Illinois. Bezdacek will attend Northern Michigan, earning a scholarship as a Nordic skier. She won the state Nordic title in February. Both girls said they loved their experience at Osseo and are looking forward to a new challenge.
Super thrilling, just kind of mind-blowing that I'm leaving Osseo Senior High and that moving on another chapter in my life. It's super exciting. Illinois, I love the state. Western's the right fit for me.
It was a very exciting day, and I'm so glad I could spend it with all my teammates and my coaches who came here to support me. So I'm really excited for the future I have ahead of me and to ski at a collegiate level and continue my academics at Northern Michigan.
Armstrong High School also had a pair of signees this afternoon. Swimmer Rachel Peterson signed with Division I program Wisconsin Green Bay, while basketball standout Sean Burns made his commitment to Minnesota Duluth official. Both talked about their school choices.
I saw the guys compete. I went to a couple games. They played with a high intensity, and the coaching staff was great. They really made me feel at home. And plus, it's a good place to get your education. And they they graduate a lot of kids and they end up getting jobs, you know, right away, so that was a good thing.
Meeting with the coaches and the team, I thought that they would be a really good fit and that I could contribute to the team, and I'm very excited to be on the team and join the Green Bay community.
Congratulations to all of them. The lacrosse season is underway now, too. The Hopkins boys are looking to improve on a 2014 season, which saw them win just 2 games. The Royals at home on a beautiful night to face Chaska. First quarter, Hopkins' Andrew Wallace-Jackson feeding Jacob Jokum with the pass, and Jokum scores, giving the Royals a 2-1 lead. Later in the quarter, it's Wallace-Jackson again on the run. This time he'll take it himself and score. That goal makes it 5-1 Hopkins after a quarter. Second quarter, quick passing here. Nicholas Culp to Kamal Baker to Michael Serra for the goal. This one puts the Royals ahead 7-1. It's a good showing for Hopkins. Long stick midi Elliot Cochran gets going, and he'll score, and Hopkins will go on to win 14-6. They are now 2-0 in the season. We'll play at Eden Prairie on this coming Thursday. Good start for them to the season already, 2 wins.
All right, thanks a lot, John. Still ahead, area volunteers give thousands of hours to help others.
Meet a volunteer who helps others get an education. That's when we come back. In honor of National Volunteer Appreciation Week, we shine the spotlight today on a woman in her 6th year of volunteering for Robbinsdale area schools.
Meet Corinne Mady of New Hope, who helps adults learn English.
For me, service is important, and this is a wonderful way to be of service to the community, and I love diversity, and you can't get more diversity than coming and being with these wonderful people, yeah.
Mady is one of 1,500 community volunteers in the Volunteers in Partnership program through Robbinsdale area schools. Mady comes in twice a week to help adults, often immigrants, learn to read and write English. And there are volunteer opportunities throughout the district, from clerical support and grounds upkeep to helping K through 12 or adults with academics.
We welcome anyone who has an interest to give us a call and let us find that match that is perfect for you. We are very intentional about wanting to make the best match possible for each individual volunteer.
If you want to get involved and volunteer with this program, you can go to our website at 12.tv for a link to some of the opportunities at Robbinsdale area schools. And one of the things she said that's so special about the volunteers is it gives them the one-on-one attention that the teachers probably can't provide with a whole classroom of students.
Yeah, and I bet they have a good relationship.
A good
with
connection.
People they work with.
That's exactly right.
That's great.
That does it for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Community Corner is coming up next.